Hello there, and welcome back to 10 Minutes One Tuesday. I am your host, Dr. Nefertiti Pointer, and I'm so excited that we have another few minutes to hang out together. Are you great? I hope so. And if not, I hope you feel a little bit better at the end of these beautiful 10 minutes we'll spend together. All right, so let me go ahead and click my timer. There we go. All right, come on in the room and sit down. Sit down, take a deep breath, take another deep breath, and one more. All right. And so if this is your first time checking out one of my videos, I'm so glad that you're here. 10 minutes on Tuesday is my effort to take just 10 minutes of a day and remind some beautiful people how important they are. And who are those people? Those people are you, those people are me. We're the people who have chosen to work in early care and education, supporting babies, toddlers, preschoolers, and their families. And whether you're listening as an educator, as a leader, or somewhere in between, this space is for us. And today I want to talk with you about happiness. So, a lot of my bigger work right now is around joy in the work and what that looks like and what that can feel like. And I can't wait to continue to bring more of that to you. But today I'm actually asking you about, just situational things, everyday things that make your smile a little brighter. Here is the reality. If you are just starting this role, you're going to have so many things to figure out. You're going to have super exciting days. You're going to have days that make you think maybe I've chosen the wrong profession. You're going to want to get home and tell people about your day, and they're going to say things like, "What you getting so excited about? All you do is work with babies. You're just a big babysitter." And then I want you to make sure you send them this way so we can let them know there are no babysitters in this field. It's all about education of our youngest babies, toddlers, and preschoolers. And so, because all of these things may be happening in your life, your happiness starts to take a back seat. You just start to get through Thursday. And I want to remind you that is not the life you want for yourself. Can I repeat that one more time? Just getting through the day is not the life you want for yourself. And so, somewhere in this new transition of your life, or somewhere in this phase of life you're finding yourself as you listen to this video, I want you to be able to clearly articulate what makes you happy. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. You don't know, do you? You don't know anymore. You've stopped thinking about happiness. You have your children at home that are at all different levels, probably getting on your last nerve. I know all about it. I got a little of that going on myself as I record this video, but it's all good, right? It's all good. But you have forgotten about what makes you happy. And then you get in the classroom and you have the audacity to show up and show up well. You're doing all the things. Your children are thriving, and you're going home barely having enough energy to get out the car, trying to get something to dinner for those children and your significant others. And then somewhere in there you get in the bed. And before you know it, it's time to get up again. You're listening to this video because I needed to remind you, uh-uh, no ma'am, no sir, that is not what we're talking about. You say, well, Nefertiti, what's the big deal? What's the big deal? What does happiness have to do with anything? You know how sometimes they'll say heart disease is a silent killer? Like it's one of the heart disease is a silent killer. It kind of sneaks up on us, and then before you know it, you're in a 911 situation. If I can look you directly in the eye and I will say to you, I feel the same way about not leading your life with happiness. Listen to me. You deserve some conversation about what makes you happy? Because here is the reality. Here are some of the things that happens quietly without you even being conscientious sometimes of what is happening when you stop prioritizing what brings you joy and happiness. When I sit down to record this, sometimes I try to think about just how vulnerable I want to make myself. And I have decided that if I can use myself as an example, then maybe I can encourage someone else. When I don't prioritize my happiness, when I don't practice the things that make me happy, one of the first things I notice is very thin patience. I believe my patience is one of my greatest skills. But when I have let days and weeks go by without me practicing the things that bring me joy and happiness, my patience become really, really, really thin. Something else that happens for me is I lack creativity. I start to feel stuck. I really lack creativity. I start to feel stuck. And if you're listening to me as an educator, can you imagine going into the classroom day after day and you can't get those thoughts right? Your children are going to show you, I'm bored. We need a little stimulation over here. So you have to make sure you're making time for the things that bring you joy and happiness. But today's conversation isn't even about making time for it. We're going to talk about that in another video. Today's video is asking you what brings you happiness. Because I promise you, somebody listening to me, you've made everybody else a priority. You have no idea anymore what makes you happy. Because what used to make you happy 5 years ago may not even be the same thing that makes you happy anymore. But you have not made time to think about it. And here we go. Patience gets thin, creativity gets thin. Whether you know it or not, your compassion for others, oh, it does not show up the way that you want. And if that's not what happens to you, then I'm going to say it's definitely what happens to me. I react more than I respond. I react more than I respond. And that is not the type of spouse I want to be. That's not the type of mother I want to be. It's not the type of educator I want to be. And so you say, Nefertiti, when I make time for my happiness, when I start to think about more about what makes me happy, this can change things. Absolutely. If I don't say this enough, I stay in the well-being research. I read it for pleasure. It's a strength and a weakness at the same time. I read it for pleasure. And I promise you, I'll always bring to you what I'm seeing in the research. And knowing what makes you happy is a part of your well-being. The other thing that I know sometimes happens to me is that I just feel different. My favorite TV show is The Golden Girls. There's this one episode where Blanche is trying to explain how she feels. And if you don't even know what the Golden Girls, what I'm talking about, stop this video, go find out, then come back, okay? How you don't know what the Golden Girl? Okay, back to the video. There's one video where Blanche is talking about how she can't explain her feeling, and she uses the word magenta. She's like, I'm just feeling magenta today. When I have become disconnected from knowing what brings me happiness and practicing them, which again, we'll talk about in a subsequent video, I just feel different. And so today's message, as I go look at the clock and get ready to get us out of here, is you have to know what makes you happy. It is a part of your professional development. Do you hear me? Knowing what makes you happy makes you a better teacher, a better leader, a better team member for our programs. So here's the deal. The next time I see you, I want you to be able to rattle off all the things that bring you happiness and joy. I just want the numbers just to go, 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 go. Because that is your charge until I can see you again. All right, my time is up. I'm not going into overtime today. I'll see you later. Thank you for joining me. 10 minutes on Tuesday with Dr. Nefertiti. I'll talk to you later.